Well, good morning, everybody. We are Robert and Lauren Laird. We're here from Garden Grove, California on a very comfortable Saturday morning in Southern California, and we are excited to share real business success training with you. We've been involved with the business for a little over 8 years now, and through that, we've just seen lives changed and seen our own lives change the last 8 years, and it's a very exciting thing. And for me, I've had really good results with allergies and just never getting sick anymore. And then I've lost about 26 pounds on Fit3. And Lauren?
I love Relive for prevention, not dealing with any chronic health issues that I'm thankful for, but also not wanting to deal with them in my future. So more energy, stronger immune system, not dealing with muscle soreness, that big prevention. Fit3 has literally changed me as a person. Going from someone that was just comfortable with getting a little pudgy to now I'm working out on my lunch and just feeling great and motivated and lost 10 pounds, and it's just been a really, really fun journey.
And really what caught our attention, or caught my attention initially, and then Lauren caught on as well, 8 years ago was the business. And I saw results that my parents got and realized that if this could help my parents, it could help anybody. And when you think of an opportunity to help anybody, suddenly it was like, well, this is a no-brainer. I got to do this. And so I jumped in at the top profit level. Didn't even know what it tasted like, looked like, whatever. Didn't really care. I just knew that it worked and that I could help people. And before I even had received my first order, I'd made $50 of profit, and we've continued to get paid every month since then. We've made as much as $4,000 in a calendar month. We've earned a couple of trips, which is absolutely fantastic. We've earned a few bonuses, and we've also gotten to pay it forward and help feed kids around the globe with the Relive Clovis Foundation. And so as I'm thinking about this morning in business success training, really, as we succeed, we're helping other people succeed, not only with the business and the health, but we're also helping those people around the globe that wouldn't be able to succeed otherwise through the Clovis Foundation, because they don't have the same opportunities we do. So this is a really fun and important thing that we do every week. And as we get started, I like to start things off in a positive way. They say that if you make your bed in the morning, you've already had one success for the day. So
I made the bed.
The bed is made. And, let's talk about some successes that we've had this week and get things off to the right, on the right foot. So anybody who's excited about anything, hop on the line and share what exciting things you've got going on this week.
Well, this is Louise. I was hoping someone else would be first, but I'll be first.
Thank you for
well, I had a real exciting call this week. I had on my list to do some follow-up. Well, first of all, it has been so fun to fill in the blanks for the Puerto Vallarta trip. I mean, that is like so fun. But aside from that, this particular call, I had this gentleman on my list to follow up with, and I got a call from him, and he is an ALS. He has ALS, and I don't know if I shared a few weeks ago about his clinicals, which is a quarterly clinic that he goes to, and they measure everything, and everything was improved. I mean, minutely improved, but the expectation is that it might stay the same at best or decline a little bit. But here was improvement in every area, which was very exciting. But he had called to say that he was just over the top. He said, I know. He said, I'm not cured, I'll never be cured, but I have never felt so much hope, and I've never felt so excited. He says, I feel like a little kid with a straight A report card, because everything is good. The hope that he was expressing and the enthusiasm that he was expressing was so opposite of when I first met him. I mean, it's 180 degrees. And I don't know, I just went, I was so blessed. And I thought, how can I be so in the right place at the right time and be so blessed? It was like, I don't deserve this, but thank you. It was wonderful. And I relive for that. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's amazing. That is so amazing. That is a life saved.
Yes.
Not changed, but a life saved. And that is beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is Karen Elberger. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can. Hi, Karen.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning, Lauren. And who was that just shared?
Louise Cole.
Oh, Louise. Good. Because it'd be awesome to have you on the ALS call. There's one coming up this Monday. And we need more people with ALS being able to actually speak about some of their results, even initial results, even tiny steps. That's huge. My mother-in-law had ALS, but thank you. I'll make this real quick. You were asking some great things that have happened this week. I'm working with some families. Everyone probably knows I have a background working in special education with children with autism, and God so had it that I'm working with some families now with children all with special needs. And one of the families has really risen to the top and has this big goal. She has this 2-hour commute one way to work, and her and her husband both have combined marriage now, have 2 special needs children. And she had a goal. She wants to leave her job. Well, they just got a Dr. Kiplak and got the trip to Sedona. And, oh, my God, this is such an answer to prayer for them because they get to have those days away from their sons and just the 2 of them, besides having it in intense training and learning how to build this bigger so she can have her dream of walking away from a 20-year job with a law firm. And so it's really exciting. I was just so grateful to God for giving my, organization, somebody in my organization, that opportunity. Wow, there's just nothing but hope everywhere with Relive, and so grateful for that. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, that's awesome. So exciting. I love that.
What's fun? Yeah, I know. She's going to join me here. You're going to swap and talk with me, huh?
Make sure you're muted. Whoever that was just talking. I'm excited. I have a friend who has a son that's sick all the time, and I got an update this week following up with her that 4 days on Relive. Actually, it was 2 days later that he started getting something, some sickness or whatever that would normally last 2 weeks. And she'd be up all night losing sleep. I mean, just miserable, coughing and making sure he's breathing. And I mean, just, serious stuff. And 2 days later, and he was completely turned around and all better again. Like, just amazing. 4 days on the product. So awesome. And then we also have someone in our organization has a brand new distributor that I was helping yesterday, and she is so excited, and it's that hope word. She has hope that she can pay her bills. That it's awesome. So just a lot of little things going on, but fun. Actually, they're big things. They're not little things. They're big things.
And that's fantastic. It was fun listening to them talk yesterday as we were driving up to Pasadena, and we should really connect them with Luis, actually, Terry. Anybody else have anything they're excited about?
This is Luwanda Ford.
Hey, Luwanda.
Hey, I finally got my microphone working.
Perfect.
But I have a new distributor, and she, too, is so excited. A young mother, single mother with 2 small children, and the older one has ADHD. And she already had booked a Sunday afternoon shake party and has a second one in the works with a lunch and learn one day. So I'm excited for her and what's in the future for her.
That's awesome. Very exciting.
You bet.
Anybody else have anything they're excited about? I can hear a dog excited about something in the other room, but I don't think we're going to let her share this morning. So let's move on to basics training. And one of the things that we are going to be doing moving forward pretty much every week, I believe, is going through the compensation plan, because as you get to know the compensation plan more and more, and you get it into your head and into your heart, it becomes that much more real. And the reality of the strength of our compensation, the generosity of our compensation plan, and just the power of it really becomes so exciting when you know just how it works. And part of it's just getting to that comfort level of, oh yeah, this is our compensation plan, this is how it works. So you've all heard me do it before, so we thought this morning we would let Lauren share the compensation plan.
Dun, 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 dun. So there are 5 ways to make money with Relive, and we will go through them one by one. And I'm apparently moving into the big chair. Pardon. Retail profit. Retail profit, you get to choose how much money you get to earn, anywhere between 10%, 40%, and you are sharing with friends, neighbors, relatives. Anybody can take Relive from womb to tomb. And so if you were to retail $100, you would earn between $10 and $40, which is very exciting. Next way is wholesale profit. So now you're moving from sharing and shopping at Target to maybe Costco or Sam's Club, and you get to earn anywhere between 5 and 30%. We're placing you up there at that master affiliate, and you sponsor someone who joins you at 10%, and you would get to earn the difference, 30%. And then there at 25%, you would earn 15%, and 35%, you would earn 5%. And what's important to remember is that sponsoring increases volume, and your volume increases your profit. So even though you're only earning that 5%, if you sponsor someone at 35%, it's 5% of a much larger volume, so that means more money. And Master Affiliate unlocks residual income. So we know that Relive products are for everybody. People consume Relive month after month. We have people that are still taking Relive from, we shared 8 years ago, and they're still taking Relive all the time, and it's awesome. So that gives us overrides, which is that unlimited residual income potential. We have residual bills. Why not have residual income? Makes so much sense. So there you are, once again, as that master affiliate, and you share with Susan. Susan could be your mom. She happens to be my mom, and she says, hey, I want to do that master affiliate thing, and you would earn 8% on Susan's group. Susan's group includes Susan's personal consumption, her customers, and some of her distributors, and even her distributors' customers. Susan knows Jim. He could be over in England. You may not know Jim, or you may know Jim, and you would earn 6% because Susan's helping Jim, and you're helping Susan help Jim. And so Relive wants to reward you for that. Jim knows Wendy all the way in Australia. You would earn 4%. Maria in the Philippines, 3%. Bill back in Canada, and you would earn 2%. So this just shows that you get paid 5 levels deep. You can have as many Susans, Jims, Wendy's, Maria's, Bills as you would like, which makes for bigger income potential. So let's turn those percentages into dollars, because that's what we're about, right? We want to help people and earn money and help other people earn money. So your first level, you share with just 3 people. Think of 3 people in your life that you want to make a difference and help them pay their bills or help them travel the world, whatever that might be. And they're doing $2,000 of volume, which probably, a handful of customers and distributors would get you there. And so that's $6,000 at 8%. That's an extra $480 added to their household income. And so, they do the exact same thing that you did, those 3 people, and they share with 3 people. That's 9 people at $18,000 at 6%. You're adding another $1,080. Add that with that $480. You're probably, with your retail and wholesale combined, earning about $2,000 a month. That's life-changing right there. Once again, we're duplicating just another 3 people each, adding another $2,160. Those 3 people do the exact same thing again, $4,860, and then another $9,720. And then finally, we're at that total income of $18,300. And a lot of us, I know Robert, when he shares he saw the first time, you see that number, you say, no one makes that money in network marketing. And we can say for certain that we personally know many people that have made that and so much more. Cash bonuses and trips. Oh my goodness, I love cash bonuses and trips, and I think Relive for them. As Robert said earlier, we've earned 2 trips and have gone to Haiti a few times, and it's just blessed us immensely. Relive really just likes to spoil those that are working, that are building their businesses and making a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives, and so that's amazing. And then the ambassador program. Once you earn a certain level of income within Relive, they want to invite you to be part of this ambassador program, which just includes more travel, more recognition, cash bonuses. Overall, you are paid to help other people. So there it is. Bam, back to Robert.
Very good. Thank you, Lauren. And, practice this. When we first started Relive 8 years ago, we would go to Starbucks, sit at a table, and where most people would be, I don't know what most people do actually, but talk, I guess. We would talk about how the compensation plan worked, and we'd grab pieces of paper or napkins or whatever happened to be around, and we would write out the compensation plan. And I really think that was one of the best things we could ever do because it brought to life how this works and how it can change lives. And it just makes it that much more practical and realistic. So then it's moving forward and actually putting this compensation plan into action. And really the key for anything in success is moving forward and doing something. Nothing ever happened without anybody doing something. So we take steps, and there's fundamental steps that we take. And as we walk down those steps, we work our way towards success. And we have that circle of success. And the whole idea is to fuel your business with new people. So we'll go through the circle of success and really focus on I think, connecting this week. The key really is to take action now, though. If you're not taking action now, when are you going to? And that's kind of the question that I think we need to ask ourselves every day and every night before we go to bed is if I don't do something today, when am I going to? And if I don't do something today, who's going to benefit from that? I often think back of all of the almost incidental occurrences that happened that led us to Relive, and it's because somebody chose to take action on any given day, whether they were in a bed and breakfast in Maine, or calling somebody up that they used to go to church with that they knew had a stroke and could maybe be benefited by the products, or really persistent parents calling their son for months as he kept saying no before he finally saw the results and realized, hey, this is different than what he thought it was. But all of these things happened because somebody decided to take action now. And because of that, so many lives were changed. And I think that's a really fantastic thing with Relive is as we're taking action and as we're building a business, we're not just building a business. We're really helping people build lives, and that's both financially and health-wise. Oops. Don't do that. Go to the next one. So as we heard last week, the first thing you want to do is identify.
Identify is just, figuring out who you want to talk to. And really, honestly, are they breathing? Yes? Then share Relive with them. Write down your list of people. We all, ultimately have a chicken list, and talk to who you're comfortable with first and eventually get to those chicken list people, and just be brave and don't prejudge, and Who are the first 5 people you're going to contact today? Who's the one person? I mean, I love what Robert said. Who are you going to talk to? And when are you going to talk to them? Because if you just have a list, that's great. But if it's just going to sit there and be names on a list, then that's what? Probably won't win any art awards. Oh, the list. Oh, Robert's making a funny. But yeah, I mean, just open your mouth and be brave and even though that phone might weigh 100 pounds, but it provides purpose for the first contact. Why? Robert pointed to the line, and I need to read the line. Why you thought of each person, and just share from your heart. That really is what's most important. I'm thinking too of I gave myself end of last year a 100-call challenge, and it wasn't necessarily I wanted to share Relive obviously, but the goal wasn't to share Relive. It was literally just to talk to these people and just show that I cared and just say, hey, I was thinking about you. If Relive came up, awesome, and then if it didn't, that's just as fine because. How did I pick the 100 people? I identify. Oh yeah. I just wrote down. I just went through my phone book. That's literally all I did and said, "Hey, I miss Jamie," or "I miss so and so," and just called them. All right, I'm done rambling. Back to Robert.
And that's a fantastic thing to do as you're building your list. She literally, I remember we were driving up to Northern California, and she was just going, "Oh, I miss this person. Write it down. Oh, this person. I haven't talked to them in forever." And she got 100 people. Oh, yeah, you were just calling them. That's right. But even better, didn't wait to write them down. Just went to connect. And that's really what we're going to focus on today is connecting with people. And that was a great way that Lauren did last year. Was that last year? Wow. To connect with people. And that was literally calling and investing in people. And that's what she did. She called and she said, how are you doing? And what's new? And really just let the conversation go organically. It says here to review 20 prospects with your upline and ask who's first. It's a fantastic way to get started. You connect with your upline, and then they connect with other people with you. And that was how we got started. And it's really taking that list and putting relationships to it. Relive is a relationship business, and where we do a lot of our relationships initially is through the connection phase. And so you hear the question all the time, what do I say? I think everybody says something a little bit different. Lauren says things completely different than I ever would, and vice versa, exactly the same. And then I listen to Quila, and she has a very different way of talking to people, and so does Louise. And that's a fantastic thing. In fact, I'd be curious, Louise, if you're still on the line, when you're talking to somebody new about Relive, what is generally the first couple of things that you say? I know I'm throwing you on the spot.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay. Thank you for the super.
Well, actually, when I call somebody and I'm just talking to them, I've actually from when do you all remember when you came to Portland and Lauren shared about her 100-call challenge, and since then I thought this was such a great idea because one of the things that I realized I was doing was I was just dropping people like mad, and I was lonely, and I thought, well, that's my own fault. Anyway, so when I'm talking to somebody about, when I'm making a call, I've identified them and I make a call, I actually call them up and I visit with them, and I find out what they want more of and what they want less of. Just, and I don't necessarily bring up Relive, but usually these people, unless it's somebody that I have just met and we've exchanged numbers, they already know I'm in Relive. Those people already know because that's been the basis of our contact. But when I'm making these calls, it's usually to somebody who kind of knows me. And and when I just find out how they're doing. I really do. I just find out what's going on with them. And quite frankly, before I make the call, I actually say a prayer and I asked that the Lord. I got this from Mark. Oh gosh, his last name just left me. But at any rate,
Mark Metz.
Pardon?
Wasn't it Mark Metz?
Yes,
you're going
thank
right
you.
you are.
Mark Metz, exactly. And he's just not being in. What was really important for me is to pray that I wasn't going to be invested in the outcome, and that just made everything be so relaxed. So relaxed. So I, like you said, used the word organically. I just let it go organically, and when it comes up, I let them know what I'm involved in, and that I'm having an orientation on Tuesday, and it would be great for them to come. They could check it out, or may I send you some things, or let's meet for coffee, or whatever. I can't even really tell you how it goes because I'm not in that conversation. But I'm just not invested in the outcome. I want to invest in them. So
I think that's perfect. And when you're investing in the person and not the outcome, you're never going to lose. Because when you invest in people, you're always building them up, and no matter what ends up happening, you've built a relationship, and that's a positive thing. Whereas when you're invested in the outcome, then there's a win-lose scenario at the end of it. It could either go this way where it's a win, or it could go this way where it's a lose because of the way you've invested in the outcome. And when you invest in the person, if I'm investing in Louise and we're talking about whatever, and I discover that she's not super interested in health right now, but she is really interested in being able to pay for piano lessons. And maybe Relive doesn't come up at all, but I've in the back of my head filed away of like, maybe someday we can help her with piano lessons. And more importantly, we have now developed a friendship where I now know she likes music at some level. I know that she's invested in her kids and their education at some level. And when you're building those relationships, everybody feels good. And isn't it a good thing as Relive distributors to be making a positive influence and helping other people feel good? This reminds me of a story from when we got started with Relive 8 years ago. One of the first people I went to was one of the piano players at Disneyland. And great guy, and I shared, I was excited about this, and he shared what he was excited about, and turns out he was excited about because he had a dream to produce a CD that would be sold on Main Street in Disneyland. And, I invested in him, and we became very good friends for the last 8 years, and to this day, he's never tried Relive. I doubt he ever will, but because of that relationship, we developed 2 really good friendships. We've produced now 2 CDs that were sold at Disneyland, and I think the world's a little bit of a better place because, yes, I went to go share Relive with him, but I wasn't invested in the outcome, and I think that's a positive way to be building our business. I think Lauren has another one that we heard yesterday that's great also.
Yeah, I was reminded as this new distributor in our organization, I connected with Jennifer Eves, just because she earned a lot of money fast, and I thought that would be a great connection for a person. But naturally, the question for somebody who's new, as Robert said, what do I say? What do I do? How do I earn money? And Jennifer reminded me of a story that I hadn't heard in a while. But Steve Garner talked to everyone, absolutely everyone in the line and wherever that he was sharing. But I guess his favorite line to share was, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm good. And then they of course would ask Steve, and he'd say, pretty good for someone who's supposed to be dead. So fine. He had multiple strokes, and his health was not headed in a very good direction, and Relive changed that. So literally, someone who was supposed to be dead, but what is your story? What are you excited about? What could your how are you line be that is a good lead into Relive?
That's absolutely right. And one of the things that I do when I'm connecting with people is I really try to connect deeply. So if I'm getting to know Louise, I'm going to ask her everything about her life. Whatever seems to interest her, I'm going to get to know more about. If you like to run, tell me about running. How did you get involved in running? I really want to know as much as I can about them in a non-creepy way, because I'm not really interviewing them, but I am investing in them. And the whole goal with that is because when I share Relive with someone, I want to know their why before Relives ever come up. I want to know what motivates them, what's their go button, what really excites them. Because if I don't know that, how am I going to help them get it? And so that's an exercise that I do, is always investing in people. And it's almost a discipline of knowing this is how I can help them before I offer the help. And sometimes you kind of get a gut instinct. You're like, I'm just gonna throw this out there because it seems like it might connect. But really, it's kind of using a lot of common sense and investing in people. And as you invest in these people, you're going to connect with them. And that's really the huge focus for today. I'm going to mute the lines because we're getting a weird sound real quick. If I can remember the number, it is, let's try star 42. Okay, I think that did it. But yeah, it really is thinking of different ways that you can connect with people and really invest in them. Think of each connection as an investment in the future of your business, and more importantly, in the future of these people's lives. Because as you looked at the compensation plan, I loved it on the ambassador side that says on the right side, we're paid to help others. And that's really what it comes down to. I like to say pretty frequently is my job is to make friends and help my friends have better lives. You know, is that the way you view your Relive business? And if it is, as you're going through to connect with people, be thinking, how can I make my friend's life better? Because when you do that, then you're showing you're caring. And people really don't know what you know until they know that you care. And then you're really setting yourself up strong for all of these other elements of the system that are going to help you move forward. Really, the goal with this whole thing is to help them learn more about Relive, usually through setting an appointment. I like, when I'm bringing up Relive to someone, is I like to give them yes or no choices all the way through. So maybe I've shared, maybe we've talked before and it's the second or third conversation, and I discover their why, and their why is they're just not making it enough and they need a new car. That's a very common thing you hear down here, and then I can go to whoever and say, hey, Joe, you keep mentioning that you just don't have quite enough for getting your new car. If I had a way that you could make an extra $500 a month, would that be helpful for you with your new car? Yeah, it would actually. Okay, would you like to hear more about this? Yes, I would. Okay, Tuesday night at my house, we're doing an informational meeting, and we're going to have food, and it's fun, and greatest people around. You should come hear about this. Okay. And I always give them the option to say yes or no. And the goal then is to set the appointment and let them decide if they want to hear more or not hear more. And then after they've seen the appointment, it's the same sort of a thing. There's opening sentences you can use. These are just different possibilities for connecting people if you're not quite confident with how you'd like to connect with people. Maybe it's, I know your health is a priority. I'm working with a company that could really help you. When can we get together? When can we get together is a really good, simple question for connecting with people and setting that appointment. It really is a simple thing that you can remember, and you can do all these different setups, whether it's a soccer game, talking about finances or whatever. But when you ask, when can we get together, it's a simple thing that people are like, oh, I'm free on Thursday. And so that's a really good way to invest also. It's also very non-threatening and safe, and that's a good thing as well, because we don't want to come off as if we have an agenda. And really it comes down to asking people questions and really listening to the answers. You want to know what it is that makes people tick and how you can really help them. And then you use stories and tools to validate. You heard actually several stories just this morning. We're in the business of relationships, and we're in the business of sharing stories and connecting people with stories. And that gets to share the Relive story.
So you set up your meeting, your appointment, there's a word I was looking for, and you get to share the story, share your why, your belief, your heart. I mean, we're all so passionate about Relive. I mean, that's why we are, so excited to share it with other people. But share the whole Relive story. You don't know who's going to connect with what, whether it's the products or making money, or the Clovis Foundation, or the science. Share a little bit of everything and just see when their eyes light up, see what makes them tick. There's so many ways to share Relive, whether it's, just old-fashioned paper book, sitting there with the opportunity book, or using slides on your computer or videos. There's the webinars. But there's so many different options, and that's what's so beautiful about it, is that it whatever you're comfortable with, whatever works best for you, as long as you're sharing the story, as long as you're opening your mouth and saying this is what Relive is, you're doing something right.
And one thing I would add to that is share the Relive story, but don't share your Relive dissertation. I think sometimes we get a little bit too in the weeds on giving too much information, and it just overwhelms. And so one of the things I think that was done very well when I got started with Relive is they kind of spoon-fed me with little bites of information a little bit at a time. And one of the things I absolutely love about Relive is the more you hear, the more you love. I can tell you 8 years later, I love to hear more and more about Relive, and I know more today, obviously, than I did 8 years ago. But my parents, I think because they didn't know a whole lot, didn't give me too much information right up front, and so they gave it to me as I asked for more. So they did the presentation, I was blown away, signed up as a master affiliate, didn't even really know what it was, but knew I wanted the best bang for my buck, and I wanted to make the best profit. And then a couple days later, or I guess it was the next day, I'm at Disneyland, and somebody actually wants to get this stuff, and so I call up and I'm like, hey, what do I do now? And they hadn't gone through every little detail of everything I had to know and everything to do and what do I put people on and everything, because I was just getting started and so were they. And so then they said, oh, hold on a minute, we'll find out. And they threw me on the phone with Gail or somebody, I don't know. And so every time I asked a question, they connected me with a story. And instead of giving me way too much information for me to process that first time around, and then I thought I knew everything or whatever. But it really set me up strong, I think, 8 years ago. There's a bunch of different ways to share the Relive stories. We love in-home parties. We do them every Tuesday night, 7:30. If you have a weekly meeting that's going on as well, please put it in the chat, and I'll recognize that as we're going through this. But we're working towards having Relive meetings that are going to be much bigger than this. We want to get that 100-person mark that Tom was talking about at conference, and that's a goal that we've set up locally, that we really feel that we should get that 100 people a week standpoint is what we're aiming for, or meeting mark. That's what we'll call it. But we really want to get that kind of momentum going down here in Southern California, especially knowing that Relive Live is coming here next spring. Webinars are absolutely fantastic. Conference calls you can't go wrong with. Your upline is one of your best resources. And if you don't have an upline, go to your sideline. We're all here, and pretty much anybody on this call, I'm sure, would help out. And they're all fantastic people with fantastic stories. And it's always fun to hear different ways of sharing Relive, and that's a good thing about that, too. The Lifestyle Magazine is a fantastic tool, and then so is the internet tools, whether it's the Relive blog, videos. Tom Pinnick's son is working with videos now at Relive, and he's working very hard to make very shareable videos. So you might have noticed the videos are getting shorter, they're getting a little bit quicker, and that's so that it's easier to share and easier for people that are really busy to watch and get that information that much quicker. And I really appreciate that they're doing that, and that kind of investment's being made, because I just think that's one more tool we can have as we move forward to share with Relive. But remember, you don't have to know it all. I think that's the greatest thing about Relive is we're kind of in a business of passing the buck of, oh, you asked me a question? That's a great question. Let's ask my friend. And that's a fun thing. So you can be honest and use Relive's built-in system to educate and validate. Then you ask for a decision. This is one of the fun parts, I think, of doing Relive business, is getting to find out where people are at and where they want to go, because that's what we're doing when we ask for a decision. And this really comes down to maybe you've just finished a presentation. You're at Starbucks, and you have your book out on the table, and you've shown how they can make whatever amount of money they need to make the life change that they want to make, and I like to do that. and you say, Lauren, you just saw this presentation. On a scale from 1 to 10, what did you think of the products? 6. Okay, 6. That's good. On a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think of the business? 9. Oh, okay, great. Are there any other questions I can answer about the business for you? Yes. How do I get overrides? And then you can go into that a little more in depth or connect them with Louise, because she understands overrides great. And she has a meeting on Tuesdays in Poulsbo at 7:15 p.m. The Relive orientation, and there's the address is 14694 Central Valley Road, and Louise has her number there. So if you want to, if you're in, is that northwest? I don't even know what to call that. But if you're up outside of Seattle, but it's by water, just remember that it's not a quick drive. Louise Cole has Tuesday night meetings, so I want to go to that meeting. Someday I'm going to go to one of your meetings, Louise. But really, it's asking for decisions, and it's then empowering those people to act on those decisions. So have your products ready, have your tools ready, so that you can get them set up for success right the moment that they give you an answer. You can ask, where do you want to get started? Whether it's products, whether it's business, always be asking, who do you know that can benefit from Relive products? In fact, I think that's a good thing to be asking at every step of the way of, would you like to come to Tuesday night? Nope. Oh, okay, that's fine. Do you know someone else who'd be interested in Relive? And generally, if you're always asking that question, you get comfortable with it and you get prepared for it, you're going to get a lot of referrals, or you're going to set them up for getting their own referrals, and they're going to be building a business before they've even built a business, and that's exciting too. With the business, if that's where they'd like to get started, know how to get them started wherever it is that they want to be at. If they want to be at a quick start, know to get that super PAC, or if they want to do a different way. I think super PAC's easy. Master affiliate, know what it takes to get to master affiliate. One of the things that I think is always very important to do is especially if they're starting out at distributor or master affiliate level, is have somebody there that you can call really quickly that can congratulate them. This is a huge step. You could make millions of dollars with this. Treat it like that. And that's an exciting thing that should be celebrated. So celebrate every win, including becoming a customer, becoming a distributor, and becoming a master affiliate.
Register and go. The key here is just following up and making sure, keeping that relationship. We're talking about investing in people. And you want to make sure that they're getting the results that they want, knowing their why, knowing their heart, knowing what results they're looking for, help them with the products. Sometimes they have to tweak. I usually drink my coffee first thing in the morning, and then I mix my, so I just added my Relive to the coffee. Wait, no, wait, that might not be a good idea. Just helping, oh yeah, you can mix those two products together. That's a fun one too. But just, helping them get the results they're looking for. Keep it simple. It says day 1, day 3, day 10, but whatever feels natural for you. Did you shake today? Are you consistent? Just checking in, feed them a story. If you're just calling them or just texting them, hey, it kind of becomes a nag. But if you're calling and offering more information and new friends to meet and more results to learn about, that's true, proper follow-up. And who do you know? Just continue asking who they're excited to share Relive with. But really, ultimately, just use common sense. Yeah. Oops, Robert tried.
There you go.
Boom. And then setting, I'm saying boom a lot today. Boom. Set distributors up for success just the same. Help them take immediate action. I was always told within 24, 48 hours, getting them set up and finding them success too. So identifying, help them build their list. And do the same thing, that you just did with them. Who are you going to call first? And actually, it was kind of fun last night. I was proud of myself. I'll admit it. Our friend was talking about this gal. She lives in Arizona. And I kind of shared a little bit, but she doesn't know much, and I didn't know what to say. And said, all right, well, do you think she's free now? Let's give her a call. And she was like, oh, yeah. And unfortunately, she didn't answer, but still, I mean, it was just building that confidence and that ability to just say, all right, well, what are we waiting for? Let's do it. So, and then just setting those appointments, review just the very basics of how to run a Relive business. A friend happened to ask me last night, okay, so when people are interested in ordering, how do I do that? And so ordering, registering, navigating Relive.com, looking through that distributor kit and Relive.com/get started. I don't feel like people use that enough. That's an amazing tool, as is your upline and distributor services, knowing that Relive is there for us as well along the way to help us be successful.
And then there's tools. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of tools, and Lauren went through a few of them just now. But this comes down to connecting with corporate. We are in a business of investing in other people and then also investing in ourselves. And so the Relive tools are helping with both of those. Some of them we have, maybe it's videos or whatever. We invest in ourselves by watching them first, and we get a little bit of excitement and inspiration from hearing Jim and Sandy Shaman talk about Fit 3. And then we're able to share that with other people. Because really that's what we're doing, is we're investing in other people and then sharing the excitement we have for Relive with them so that they can do the same thing. And so connect on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram's been a lot of fun, I think, on Relive the last few months, and they've done a really fantastic job with that. But grab some tools, really take a look at them and decide which one can you use the easiest. I mean, really, it's what are you comfortable with and what can you use to help connect with other people. And if you don't feel comfortable with any of them, choose which one you're going to become comfortable with. It's kind of like working out. You have to take that first step in the morning and start stretching yourself a little bit. And then as you stretch yourself more, you're going to connect with people more as well. But really, it comes down to using that whole Relive system. They need to update this slide. I just downloaded it yesterday. But it really comes down to using this whole cycle of connecting new people into as much of the system as you possibly can. The more of the system you use, the more successful you're going to be. That's really why it's there. People smarter than me put this system together. I didn't come up with it. But I know that the more I connect into the system, the more power I'm going to get. It's like plugging into a power outlet in the wall. And the stronger of a Relive distributor I'm going to be. So it's using those daily activities, whether they're presentations, in-home meetings, upline, three-way calls, trainings, webinars. It's using the corporate support. So we've got the Tom and Tina show. There's tons of different calls that are going on all the time. Monthly webinars, support tools, Relive.com getting started. It's connecting with all of the ways that corporate gives us to connect. And connecting new people with those too, and then connecting them into the BLTs and the Relive Lives that are coming out. And we're going both to Anaheim, which isn't a surprise at all, but we're going to go get the one in Florida too, because we just recognize the energy that comes out of these things really bumps you forward so much in your business. You have that much more level of excitement, and you can just go change the world. So we're not going to miss any of them. We already hit that. We hit that. I deleted these yesterday. Oops. But really, it's all about engaging your team. You want to develop a library of stories. Stories are almost like currency in the Relive business. The more stories you have and the more connections you have, the more successful you can be, because then you can offer that much more hope to other people. And really, it comes down to, if you want to build ambassadors, build relationships. And that's really the key, I think, to Relive is about connecting, and Relive is about relationships, because generally everybody is looking for that connection with other people. We've built a Disney website through the last 14 years that literally has been built on being friends to people who don't have friends. And that's been a very successful model for the website. And really, everybody needs more friends. Everybody needs more positive friends, and that's what Relive's all about. So you want to stay engaged for what's going on with Relive, get the emails, get the calls, the webinars, the blogs, social media, text, YouTube, all of that. Listen to the podcast. Here's your little pro tip for the week, is if you want to hear the podcast first, subscribe on iTunes and go at about 3 o'clock Pacific on iTunes, and you can listen to the podcast before it's live everywhere else. And now that I've said that, they'll probably change it. But I like listening to it in the afternoon because it's kind of fun, I think. So set goals. Have a plan for where you go. Review the road to presidential director. Help other people review their road to presidential director. Stretch their thinking. One of the things that the people we've worked with have always done really well with us is like, oh, we want to do this. And like, okay, well, how about we do that? And it's just a little bit further than what we said. And that's a good thing. That's how you exercise is you're stretching your muscles and you're building them up. What will it take to make key director in how many months? Really start putting that compensation plan into action and into your plan of where your life to be. If you're thinking today, as we're sitting, what is it, August 17th, 19th? I don't know what the date is. 20th. It's the 20th.
No, it's
19th. Okay, August 19th. Where do you want to be August 19th in 2018? Do you want to be in the same place? Do you want to be somewhere different? Do you want to be traveling? Do you want to have a different house, a different car? Do you want to be feeding kids at the Relive Clogers Foundation? What would you like to see different 1 year from today? And then once you've figured that out, go look at the compensation plan and look at our programs of director programs and ambassador programs and see what paycheck fits for your dream. And then you know what you need to work towards. And that's a really exciting thing to do. Then ask yourself the question, who's going to be the next key director in your organization? Key directors are the backbone of this business. And the more key directors Relive has, the more successful and the more people we'll be helping and the more kids we'll be feeding. And then it really comes down to duplication. Build a business that you would like to see duplicated and then watch it duplicate. Whatever you do today, your distributors are going to do tomorrow. Maybe they'll do it today as well. But it's really all about going out there and making a difference and empowering other people to do the exact same thing. And then it's always asking that question of who's next. It's like Lauren said, it's going through your phone book on your phone and just like, oh, I'm going to call this person. Or maybe it's going to the market and you see somebody you haven't seen from down the street and you say hi to them and you invest in them. But really it's just always being open to answering the question, who's next, and being proactive about asking who's next. And as we go out, we connect with more people, and we build those relationships, and we help them all with Relive, we can really change the world, and we can do it together, and we can have a lot of fun doing it as well. So I think that's what we've got for you today. I'm going to end the recording, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.